A walrus, who has been nicknamed Wally, is continuing his trip around the shores of the British coastline after being spotted in Cornwall this week.
Now, the large Arctic animal was first seen in County Kerry in Ireland in March, before heading to Tenby in Pembrokeshire in April. On Wednesday, he was spotted in Padstow in Cornwall.
So we're joined by Nathaniel Barry, who is a photographer at Padstow Sea Life Safaris, and by Lucy Baby, who is head of science and conservation at Orca Marine Life Charity. So very good morning to both of you,
Morning.
Nathaniel and Lucy. Nathaniel, first of all, you are one of the lucky ones. You've sort of been close to this giant walrus. Tell us the circumstance.
It was an incredible experience, obviously. One of the tours that we do offer at Padstow Sea Life Safaris is a 1-hour seal safari. Here in Cornwall, we get native grey seals, and we're expected to just show some of the customers them. And one of the trips, we were heading back inshore into the Padstow Bay, and basically the driver, the skipper, Kev, he saw what we believe was a grey seal coming into one of the known locations, and yeah, it just turned out that it was Wally the Walrus just passing our coastline.
Now, we're looking at some of your pictures as you were talking, Nathaniel, and I mean, these are extraordinary images. I mean, did it dawn on you immediately that you were not seeing a seal? Because, I mean, they look very different, even in the water, obviously. You see this picture emerging now.
Yeah, so obviously I've been very lucky. I had my camera on me. One of the things that we try and do, or at least I try to do, is get a close-up of males and females grey seals. It just gives me an opportunity to show customers the difference between them. And yeah, so when I did look through my lens, I saw that the tusks were very clear, and I just instantly knew that it was going to be the Tenby walrus, at least, or I just knew that it was going to be a walrus, and it was just insane.
Nathaniel, did he make any noise?
Not that I can remember, no. He did. One of the main things that we did see is that he was blowing a lot of water into the air, and that's why we was like, this isn't a seal, because seals don't tend to do that. So that's why we stuck around and made sure.
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely stick around seeing that. Now, Lucy, we should put an almost a health warning here. Although we kind of did that lovely graphic showing Wally the Walrus all around the country, there is a concern. We don't want people, or it's not being encouraged that people kind of try to spot Wally and interfere in terms of, like, him going about his business.
You're absolutely right, Naga. It's really important that we do give this animal the space that it needs. Walruses are highly sensitive animals. We've seen the incredible documentaries where if they are disturbed, they will stampede. So this individual as well, as it's travelled a really long way, we would hope that it will go back north to the Arctic at some point. So it needs its energy reserves. Also, it's worth just pointing out to people that it is a criminal offence to disturb this animal as well, a wild animal. We're all used to social distancing now, so I think it's really important that we practice this with Wally. And there is nothing better than observing an animal from a safe distance, so whether people are on land or at sea, so you can watch it doing its natural behaviours and not cause any additional distress to it.
May I just add as well, I called Wally he. We don't know if it's a he or she, do we, Lucy?
Absolutely. So we know it's a juvenile animal because its tusks are quite small at the moment. They can grow up to 1 metre, and both the males and females have the tusks, making it difficult to work out if Wally is a lady or a man. However, what we do know is generally it is the male walruses that tend to wander off. They have a much wider home range. Some have been tagged and seen to have gone over 800 kilometres. So it's likely that Wally is a male, but we just don't know at this point.
And Lucy, why would Wally, and we'll use that name sort of loosely, given what you've just said, why would Wally be here? Why is Wally doing a sort of a tour of the British Isles? That
is a very good question. So we have had the occasional walrus visit the UK. So there's been 8 confirmed sightings since 1979. There could be more. We just might not have seen them. And this is what's great about members of the public who are out and about reporting these animals. So it allows us to gain a really good idea of what's happening in our oceans. But we do tend to see this wandering off behaviour more so in adolescents, so juveniles. It could be that they're making these navigational errors because they just haven't learned where to go yet. or adolescent animals tend to be more curious. So Wally could just been having sort of a bit of an adventure, traveling further, has found some lovely areas, good feeding grounds, will build up its energy, and then what we hope is that the individual will travel back up to the Arctic.
And Lucy, just on a technicality, from the pictures you've seen, how big is Wally? How heavy? What sort of scale are we talking about?
So he does look pretty large. I wouldn't want to get too close to him. Males can be up to 3 meters, and he's definitely not that yet and can weigh well over a ton. But a few people have been estimating it as sort of nearing up to that weight, sort of 600 to 800 kilograms, which is, you know, a pretty big animal. And that's another reason why we need to keep our distance. He is a very large wild animal, so we need to be safe.
Stay away, indeed. Nathaniel, just a quick word. You do these safaris from where you are. You're in Padstow. What do you normally see? We don't want people going down to kind of see Wally, but there are still some beautiful things to see.
Yeah, there still are, especially at this time. We do have a small population of puffins coming down this way. We only get about 30 individuals, so when we do see them, it's quite exciting. Obviously, as we said, we see the grey seals that we get around Cornwall, which we're so lucky to have. And then we get a selection. So we do see a lot of common dolphins, minke whales, we do get a few sightings of them. And then just a speckling of birds. So the usual razorbills, guillemots, shags and cormorants, and then like gannets. But yeah, we get so much wildlife along this coastline that it's just an incredible opportunity to get out on a boat and see it from such a different angle.
Oh, it sounds brilliant. Well, we wish Wally well. We wish Nathaniel, Barry, you well as well, and Lucy as well, baby. Thank you very much as well for joining us.